Howdy y'all, my name is Telios, and I didn't plan on making this video. I did plan on making a video featuring AI, but this isn't it. The original idea was to have AI make a challenge run and tell me how to beat it, while I would try to follow its terrible directions to the letter. For example, if it said to kill Smo but leave Ornstein alive, get the Lord Vessel and head directly to Gwyn, I would figure out how to do exactly that. The joke of the video would be that the real challenge was ChatGPT's poor understanding of video games, and we would all have a good laugh about it. Then I started down the path that led me here. I had the idea to have AI generate the thumbnail. Why not, after all? It had been a while since I had tested the horrendous results of AI image generation, so I had it generate a few things for me, guessing how my day was going. Thinking the results were funny, I made a poll asking y'all to vote on how your day was, with the corresponding image, of course. Then someone commented, telling me I was better than using AI art. As much as I disagree with the phrase AI art, I couldn't get that comment out of my head, so I ended up deleting the poll. And then I thought, and I realized something. I couldn't make my original video. Sure, it was going to take a lot of work to make the AI suggestions function, but I was still having AI give me a challenge run. I was having it do my thinking for me, and that goes against my beliefs. Now, I'm not talking about religious or political beliefs. Those are conversations best saved for awkward family dinners, not the very professional platform that is YouTube. No, I mean my beliefs about the human person and creativity, which are much easier topics to discuss. So, buckle up, y'all. Today, you're doing the challenge run. Can you listen to a man with a philosophy degree talk about human creativity and AI? But before I talk about AI, I do need to talk about that human creativity part. See, humans are awesome. We have an intellect that allows us to not only think about the things we need to survive, but things we do not need at all. Philosophy, literature, music, etc. All things that make life better, but no one necessarily needs. I mean, do we really need Aristotle, or Rembrandt's The Descent from the Cross, or Bram Stoker's Dracula? But at the same time, yes, we absolutely need those things. These are works of human creativity, which is what we're going to be calling art. Part of the reason that art is so important and impactful is because of what it is. A pure expression of the human spirit. Now, I need to clarify something. I don't mean spirit in a religious sense. I may be Catholic, but I don't know what you are, so I'm not going to try and make a religious argument. When I say spirit, I just mean the thing that makes us different from animals. And you really can't deny that we are different from the animals. I mean, when was the last time your pet fish performed Moonlight Sonata, or that rabid sewer raccoon pontificated about the creation of the universe? Regardless of if you believe in the soul, or if you think we're only flesh, or that we're all just 37 squirrels in a trench coat, there is something that separates us from every other creature on Earth, and the thing that separates us is what I'm calling the human spirit. And since I know you've already commented it, yes, this is a loose definition, because the human spirit includes more than art, because we are also separated by our self-awareness, our ability to think and reason, our ability to create, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And yes, there is some overlap with what we can do with a human spirit and what animals can do. Even with that overlap, there is still a huge gap between what animals can do and what we're capable of. Listen, I'm trying to talk about AI, not write a treaty on humanity. So delete that comment. Or don't. It honestly doesn't matter to me. Anyway, art, the creative expression of humanity, is a vital part of living. Imagine how life would be if you couldn't read a book, couldn't listen to music, couldn't watch Sharknado. Sure, you'd be able to function, but that's surviving, not living. I mean, I could lock you in a plain white room, giving you food and water every day, and you would survive, but your life would probably be terrible. I would be making you live more like an animal than an actual human. Survival without art. Do you want to know why 1940s Germany burned books? Or 1970s Cambodia killed intellectuals? Or 1920s USSR built ugly buildings? Because a society of animals is easier to control than a society of humans. So, what does this have to do with AI? That is, after all, supposed to be the topic of this video. Well, let's figure that out. AI is meant to be a tool. After all, we created it, which means it should not rule us. Now, tools are created to aid us in doing something, and there's nothing wrong with that. Tools improve quality of life, they make things easier, they address specific needs. Shovels were invented to help us dig. Cars were invented to help us travel faster, which allowed us to keep up with an accelerating world. Computers were invented to help us perform more accurate mathematical calculations, because sometimes we make mistakes. If AI is a tool, it should also address a need. So before I continue, try and think of a need that AI actually addresses. Did you come up with anything? Because I sure can't. AI really exists because people wanted to make it. And because there wasn't a need for it, there isn't a good space for it. I think that's shown by the way every single tech company is integrating AI, despite the fact that no one really asked for it, or wants it, or needs it. I have this picture hanging up at my desk at work, and I feel like it sums this up pretty well. If there isn't a clear role for something, it'll either vanish, or be shoved into spaces it doesn't belong. And, unfortunately, people have decided that AI belongs in our brains. Now, I don't mean literally, yet. Instead, I mean that people have taken AI and used it to replace their creativity. So, I play D&D once a month, and my role is Dungeon Master. I absolutely love creating the story and improvising with my players. I once ended up creating an entire section of a town and a whole pocket dimension based on what they were doing. Now, I've heard of people using ChatGPT to create the world, and even react to player choices during a game. Now, I get that it can be daunting to be a DM, but what's the point of taking the role if you aren't actually going to do the job? Using AI to replace the work, effort, and creativity that you should be doing disconnects you from the experience, and cheapens it for everyone else. And this isn't true just for a simple game, it's true for everything. AI-generated work doesn't make you better at your job, it prevents you from learning it. AI-generated images aren't art, because they lack human creativity and effort. AI-generated homework doesn't help you learn, it just aims for a grade. Using AI to replace your brain makes the world worse, because it starts to create a world where we don't think or create. It creates a world where we're encouraged to survive, but not to actually live. And there are way too many people who are okay with that. Creating something like an AI book or AI image cheapens the effort and creativity of everyone else who has created something for themselves. And maybe you don't care about everyone else. Well, it also cheapens your own experience. If I plagiarized a YouTube video and presented it as my own, should I be proud? No, because I didn't do the work. All I did was take someone else's work. How is that different from AI? You didn't create the image. You didn't write the book. You didn't make that video. You asked something else to do it, and then presented it as yours. You pretended it was yours. And in the process, you rejected the very creativity that makes humanity so amazing. To conclude, I need to address why I didn't do my original idea. After all, there are plenty of videos where people make fun of AI, or have them tell them how to beat video games, and no one has a problem with those. To be honest, neither do I. I love making fun of AI, and it's really easy. The problem I have with what I originally wanted to do was that I wanted AI to create a challenge run for me. Sure, that may seem like a small point to get hung up over, but I make all my own challenge runs. They may not be original, but I take the time to consider what I want to do, and how to succeed at them. Handing that over to ChatGPT felt disingenuous. It felt fake, and most importantly, it felt wrong. I consider myself to be a pretty creative person, so I can't hand my creativity over to a machine. If I do that, it stops being creativity and just becomes a bunch of ones and zeros. There are plenty of movies and shows where AI rises up and kills all humans. I think these depictions tried to warn us about the wrong thing. AI isn't going to try and kill our bodies. It's going to kill our minds. And if we're not careful, it's going to succeed.